This video is going to be very, very hard for me to record because it's one of those things where I absolutely love the Fallout universe. Since this deck, even the commander being shown off, I'm like, I want this. This is already my favorite deck. So being biased is a very difficult thing for me when it comes to this deck. So in this video, we'll be going over Mutant Menace. Now, when it comes to this, I haven't played 76. And then when I seen the Mothman was the commander, I looked in and watched so many hours of videos of the Mothman and stuff like that. I've literally have a previous video here where I talk about it. It's actually my most watched Magic or Fallout Magic the Gathering video I've ever made. So please, again, thank you for everyone that watched and liked that video. But now the deck is finally out, so I'm going to be talking about it, talking about the cards inside it, the commander, the sub-commander, and giving my thoughts and opinions at the very end, which again, I'm going to say now with a warning, take it with a large pinch of salt. I am going to literally, this deck could fall out and be the worst deck ever, but I will still love it. Again, it has literally like, I love all the mutants in Fallout. I love all the stuff they're doing. I'm a mill player, so again, the radiation stuff, I'm like, nice. So again, it's literally everything I kind of love other than Eldrazi and Planeswalkers just jammed into one deck. Now, I do think they should have done a Planeswalker in Fallout, but again, I can't control that. So let's go on to the deck. When it comes to this deck, the commander of the deck is the Wise Mothman. For 1 black, green and a blue, you get a legendary creature, insect mutant that is a mythic. It has flying. Whenever the Wise Mothman enters the battlefield or attacks, each player gets a rad counter. Whenever 1 or more non-land cards are milled, put a 1/1 counter on each up to X target creatures, where X is the number of non-land cards milled this way and is a 3/3. So as you can clearly see, this is a very easy commander. You literally just keep attacking, giving more rad counters, using your other counters to proliferate and get more rad counters on everyone, to then power up and just fly over your enemies and then just pop the opponent with commander damage. So as again, I say this is a lot of 1/1 counters, a lot of radiation, and a lot of possibly adding counters on it, maybe like vigilance and stuff like that. But again, I do think already that this is going to be an amazing commander. But you cannot have a commander without a sub-commander, and to be honest, the sub-commander is very, very nice. Originally, I was like, who could the sub-commander be? Because I completely forgot, because 1 and 2 were the games I played the least. But the sub-commander is the Master Transcendent. For 1 black, green and a blue, you get a legendary artifact creature mutant that is a mythic. When the Master Transcendent enters the battlefield, target player gets 2 rad counters. Tap, put target card into a graveyard that was milled this turn onto the battlefield under your control. It's a green mutant with base power and toughness, 3/3. It loses its color and creature type, and it is a 2/4. Again, this is a really good sub-commander. I could not think for the life of me. I was like, oh, it might be like a normal, like famous super mutant, like the guy, I can't remember his name, that helps you in 3 to get the Gek, or it could be the super mutant you can get in 4 as a companion. There could be many number of things. I was thinking the tree for a while that's alive, that most people burn alive, and those screams will ever haunt me for the rest of my life. But anyway, I do really think they picked a really good sub-commander. My only opinion is their first ability is not the best. Commander's usually a 4-player game, so giving it to 1 person is not really the best. But as someone that, one of my favorite decks is milling people and then playing cards that take creatures from a graveyard, always picking other people's, the second ability is really, really good in a very me way, and I do love the sub-commander. But now let's go on to the deck itself, starting off with the creatures. In this deck, there is a total of 28 creatures, and you get beautiful mutants like Marcus Mutant Mayor, Piperite Public Reporter, Vexen Redigal, Feral Ghoul, Hancock Ghoulish Mayor, Harold and Bob First Newmans, Jason Bright Glowing Prophet, Rampaging Yao-Guy, Tato Farmer, Tireless Tracker, Watchful Radstag, Lily Bowen Raging Grandma, Mirelurk Queen, Alpha Deathclaw, Screeching Scorebeast, Strong the Brutish Thespian, Agent Frank Harrigan. Now again, some of these are absolutely amazing. I love that they have the classic ones like Strong and Death Claws and stuff like that. Again, a few I assume from 76, like the Giant Sloth and Stag and the Bird. But again, I'm not the biggest fan of 76 or 74, 76, can't remember the name from the top of my head. But again, there is a lot of cards that I'm happy with, that you get the Mayor, you get the Grandma, you get stuff like that. I do really like a lot of the creatures in this deck, and they do really well and combine with the Commander and Sub-Commander, which again is a really good thing. If you don't know, from now on I'm getting the instant and sorceries and combining them with spells. So in this deck you get a total of 14 spells, and you get spells just like Biomass Mutation, Nuclear Fallout, Mutational Advantage, Atomize, Raid Storm, Casualties of War, and Find/Fatality. Again, really good cards. Absolutely love all of them. Love the artwork of like all of them. The one where they're at the dining table, or the one where they're sitting there like watching each other, is great cards. When it comes to the instant sorceries, I'm happy with all of them. I love the artwork of them all. There's not really much I complain about, but I can really say that is probably or potentially the reason it's because it's Fallout, and there's no other reason than that. Again, great cards. So let's go on to the next section. The next section is artifacts. In this deck you get a total of 10 artifacts, with 5 of them being mana rocks, and you get artifacts just like Nuke and Nuke Launcher, Power Fist, Recon Craft Theta. Now I could be wrong here, because I know that the Nuka Nuka thing, because I can't remember the art, I'm not sure if it's just a missile or something, but if it's a fat man, the reason it's called Nuka Nuka is because they had to change it for the Chinese like countries. So I'm not sure if they're going with that one, or if you get it in a different country will they change to Fat Man. I could be wrong there. So again, if you see that card with a different name, it depends on what part of the world you're in. But when it comes to the rest, I'm really happy with the artifacts that are in this deck. Now we are going on to the enchantments in this deck. When it comes to this deck, there's a total of 8, and you get great enchantments just like Hardening Scales, Branching Evolution, Fraying Sanity, Guardian Project, Struggle the Project Purity, Inexorable Tide, Vault 87 Forced Evolution, Vault 12 the Necropolis. Now actually when it came to this, I was actually telling a friend of mine, when it comes to Fallout and the Fallout set, I'd really love the crazy guy with the puppets, but I don't really know what they could have done with it. I was looking at creatures and maybe like an instant or sorcery, but the fact that Fraying Sanity is the card with the puppet guy in it is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that they actually put him in, since he's such a niche and not well-known character. Again, I'm happy with the vaults. Again, the vaults are all really good in my opinion, and then the rest of the enchantments are really good for the deck, and I love the art and the names of some of them. And now finally the lands. When it comes to this lands, there's 39 in total, and you get lands such like Drowned Catacombs, Hinterland Harbour, Maripisa Military Base, Nesting Grounds, Sunken Hollow, Woodland Cemetery. Again, I know the list is very low and the lands are not the best, and I'm gonna always give out about the lands when it comes to these decks unless they change it. However, my Fallout loving brain just goes, it's still good. It has good lands, the art is pretty, we have been there or know of it, we should buy this. This is possibly my favorite deck they have ever made, and that's probably a lie. Again, if they took out the Fallout aspect of it, I'm probably going to be like, no, Zaffi is probably the best deck I've seen them make, or a number of other decks. But again, because it's got mill, because it's got stealing other people's stuff, because it's got like proliferate, and the colors and the commanders are great, and the cards are great, and got really good cards in it, got really good enchantments, got Fraying Sanity with the puppet guy. This deck is very much you. You should buy it. And I'm like, yes, I want it. Very good. But again, that's why when it comes to this part of the video, take everything with what I say as a large pinch of salt. Now, again, looking through the deck properly, I'm like, it seems to be on the weaker side. But again, if I was a businessman, I would be like, people are gonna love this and buy it anyway, so let's make it not the worst, but the weakest, because it'll be one of those things where kind of the least popular decks are gonna be the more powerful ones in my opinion, so people buy it for the power, and then you get people that will love the character of the deck, but make it slightly weaker, so you kind of even out the sales. But again, that's just me, my craziness here, or my fraying insanity. Yeah, ow, hit my elbow off the wall. But yeah, when it comes to this video, I'm really happy with the Fallout decks. I do think that if there is even a bit of, like, a tiny bit of you that goes, even buy it, to just, these Fallout decks and Doctor Who decks are the only decks I would be like, if someone wants to buy it and just leave on the shelf and never open, this is the product that I'm like, that's okay. Because if it was a non-Magic the Gathering deck, I'll be like, no, open it up, use it for scraps, use it for the deck itself, upgrade it and stuff like that. But because it's like themed around a certain like video game or TV show, I'm happy with people just going, I like Fallout, I don't like Magic, so I'm going to buy these and keep on the shelf for my, because as a collector myself, again, I'm happy with that type of stuff. Personally, if I was going to buy it, I would probably be using it. My only thing I would find difficult is if I wanted to upgrade the deck or change it, it would kill me to put in non-Fallout cards. So if there was like, I don't know, I think a Dublin season would go great in this deck. I'll just be like, there's no Fallout one, no. So again, I think if I did, I would play them, but there would always be the deck. There would be no changes unless they later on go, we're making Fallout packs, or here's a Fallout secret layer, and I'm like, I can put them in. They're good. I'll do that one. But again, this is the type of thing. It's mainly if you love Fallout, you should buy it. But again, even if you don't like Fallout and these decks like me resonate with you, if you like 1/1 counters, milling, taking stuff from people's graveyards, this deck is right for you. But as always, if you have any questions when it comes to Fallout, any cards you would love to see in the deck or anything like that, any cards you can think of, because I would love to make a video where I'm like, this should have been a Fallout card, here is blah blah, put in this character from Fallout. If you have anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and watch more of my content and stuff like that. But as always, I have the previous Fallout video here. I have a playlist with Is It Worth It Magic the Gathering stuff here, and a subscribe button here. And again, we're getting closer and closer to 1K, and I would really appreciate if people were nice enough to do that. And I will see you all in the next video.